while it's still too hot. Late Keisha, Keisha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Late Keisha, Keisha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop.
Hey guys, I just really love that song, and I'm going to give y'all the lady's information because she can create you a song for your channel, whatever it is you are looking to do. I had her send me the information. I'm gonna be able to give y'all all the information, but baby, we gotta get into this hoe. Porsha Williams selling that cat, trying to get that mortgage paid, y'all. We gonna get into it, because if y'all don't know, you gonna know today that Porsha is a hoe.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Now, we're not going to sit up here and act like we don't know Porsha Williams is a hoe, honey, because she got it from her mammy. And y'all know she got it from her mammy because y'all had to remind me that Porsha Williams learned how to sell cat from her mammy. And let me let y'all know this. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. Forget it. I'm just going to let y'all know. Porsha Williams' cat is so wore out. Don't nobody in Atlanta want it. In fact, Simon was the last one. She should have just kept Simon, stayed married to him, and maybe it would have worked out for her, because this hoe is so wore out, and this cat that she got, it's done. It's wore out and it's ran through. Nobody wants it. Not even Dennis. Dennis don't even want it. Now, I did a video earlier and I told you all that the mortgage of the house, you know, she's a squatter and she won't leave that man's house. Porsha is a squatter, a hoe. She won't leave the man's house. Why do y'all think it is? I mean, if she had money, couldn't she just take up residence elsewhere? Y'all recall when Cordell threw her mammy out because the mammy was eating food in his bed? You know, same how y'all watch trifling nasty Porsha eat food in the bed and eat food on the good furniture. See, it's nasty. She's filthy. And apparently she gets it from her mammy. But y'all, listen, without further ado, we're not going to sit up here. We're not going to sit up here and act like we don't know Porsha is a hoe. We're not going. Now, y'all can sit up and act like you don't know that Porsha is a hoe, but you know, she that is in fact what she is. And a garden tool, a hoe, like, when you're, doing your grass, with the hoe. Yeah, that type of hoe. But anywho, without further ado, I told you all that Simon is gone. And y'all had to remind me, because sometimes I don't be thinking things all the way through. And, with Simon being in ICE custody, y'all think the mortgage is getting paid? Do you really think the mortgage is getting paid? I don't think Porsha thought this through, because Porsha, the lady, the 265, she thinks it's 265 days a year. That lady, I don't think she thought this through. When you operate with not a whole brain because you think you can win everything with your wore out puss, I don't think she thought it through, okay? Maybe she thought that Simon would be arrested you know, because the girl don't have it all, maybe she thought that she would just own the house. But what she didn't realize is the house has a mortgage on it. Y'all want me to bring y'all? This is what I'm going to do. You need to go ahead and subscribe on Patreon because I'm going to reveal all the documents over there. I'm going to get every one of the documents because it's public information. And I'm just going to show y'all over there on Patreon. So go ahead, get y'all subscriptions going over there on Patreon. I'm going to do a whole video later and I'm going to show you all the court documents. Well, here's the deal. Porsha Mortgage is in default. She is on YouTube trying to make that money, honey, because that puss ain't selling. It ain't selling. Nobody's buying it. And in fact, Porsha is so desperate. You know what? I'm going to let somebody else tell you because nobody can say it like this one right here. So I am going to let her say it because when I saw the video that Miss Tasha K did, I was just shaking my head because I said, wait a minute. I said the same thing. Now, Tasha K explains to y'all how Porsha Puss is so wore out. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. And how she messing with that lady husband. Now, we're not talking about Fallon because y'all already know how that went down. You know, Fallon was married to him and then Porsha was messing around with him when he was married to Fallon. But for some reason, y'all think it's okay because y'all gonna say Fallon was messing around with somebody. Come on now, ladies. Just because this woman decides to do whatever it is she's doing in her marriage, that don't make you to just be a willing hoe and be messing with that lady husband. Well, Tasha K explains it. She gonna break it down how Porsha messing with a married man who don't want her raggedy puss either. In fact, the man, allegedly the married man, is one of the ones that kind of helped Porsha to make the decision, okay, I'm going to file for divorce against Simon because I'm going to marry you. But that man ain't leaving his husband because nobody wants a hoe but grass. So let's get into it.
Oh, Porsha, you let me tell you something. Y'all drag me so bad. And that's okay because y'all grown women. That's what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? We all on the same level. We in a group and we gossiping. I say something, you don't like it. I say, you know, you say something, I don't like it. That's just how we do as grown women. So I am not above reproach, okay? I can be told too when I'm wrong. And like I said, the whiner was always right. And so I saw y'all going off on me with my last clip that we took from the last show that we did on Friday about Porsha's brand taking a huge decline. Now, I didn't get specifics as to why it took a decline. I was kind of easing y'all into the information. Because when have I ever reported inaccurate information that was given to me about Porsha and her men's? Even the men's that she was messing with that like men's. When have I ever been wrong? I even gave you an exclusive hidden side dish brought in part to you by Dennis Hot Dog. What's Dennis' last name? Think of his last name right now. But anyway, her baby daddy. McKinley. Dennis Hot Dog Gut McKinley. He was messing with Sincerely. And then has the nerve to say, I'm lying. And then him and Sincerely all of a sudden have the same damn defamation lawyer trying to.
Well, I'm going to fast forward this because I want to get to the strictly Porsha part because all of this is extra and it's great. But let's get into.
Y'all got mad at me when I said she was out there. She's got that. She's got the wedding. She's got her brand. The African community.
Okay, so we're gonna just pick it up here. So she was. What Tasha was talking about earlier is about Porsha brand. Porsha don't have her brand it's giving absolutely nothing. Porsha is a side chick. She is forever going to be a side chick. Now, not only is she a side chick, she like married men. Let's get into it.
If you are from Atlanta and you are in the African community, then I'm surely you know who this man is. If not, I'm going to tell you about it. So this man is not only married, okay? His name is Kelvin Owusa.
Kelvin Owusa. This is Porsha's side nigga, allegedly.
Very nice looking man. He looks like the third string to them Ricky Smiley dudes that came out. You know, the baby daddy, it was Ricky Smiley, and then the baby daddy that was the baby daddy to the twins looked just like Ricky. He looked like he could be a Ricky third, you know. His wife's name is Nana Adoja Abisa. Nana Adoja Abisa. They live in Vinings in Cobb County. His wife, his son, and his daughter. This is the man that honestly was responsible for the dissolution of a marriage that she's going through now with Simon. Because this man promised her not only was he going to leave his wife, which that doesn't happen in Nigeria. I don't even know why she fell for that. But if he couldn't leave the wife, because she was in the circle and this is who she was entertaining, and we're going to say alleged.
Okay, so I just wanted y'all to see this so that y'all can see that this girl is a hoe. I've been trying to tell y'all this forever in a day, but y'all don't want to believe me. Now, here's the deal. The woman cannot afford to pay for this property. She cannot afford to pay for it, okay? Y'all had to remind me because I simply forgot. Now, I know that Simon is in ICE custody. Did Porsha actually have this man locked up? I don't know. But now that I'm thinking, I would ask myself, why would she have him locked up? Because she broke and she ain't got it. Because if she did, she wouldn't be there. She would, like, you know, go buy her own house. Similar to when she got put out with Cordell and she was homeless. She had to go live back with her mammy. And then she went and bought another house. Why can't she do that this time? Hello? What y'all say? She ain't got it. That's why. So she is still in his house. But then I wonder, did she call ICE? This is what I think. Now, I don't know if this is true, but you guys should know if you watch, even if you watch her YouTube channel, it gives bird brain, okay? This chick is making up shit as she go and she just spewing out lies to y'all. Now, I saw a clip where she's doing this video with Dennis. Well, isn't it interesting that she's videoing with Dennis on the YouTube channel, but isn't this broad on a whole show? So I'm not understanding what that's giving there. So here's the deal. Did she actually call ICE on Simon? I believe that she did. I believe she called them and she didn't think, because y'all got to understand, this is a woman that does not think. She doesn't think a lot of things through, because if she did, why did she marry Simon and then complain at how he was doing whatever he was doing when she saw what he did with his last wife? She saw this. Like, we all witnessed it. We all witnessed Simon go onto social media and drag Fallon. We all witnessed that. Now, why would this girl, Porsha, think that he was going to treat her any different? Example, she doesn't think things through. Now, in Porsha's original filing, she stated that Simon wanted to go to court, face-to-face court, and she wanted to do it via, you know, Zoom or whatever. Well, guess what? Now that Simon is locked up in ICE, can he appear? Absolutely not. So I don't believe she thought this through. But what y'all is failing to realize, and somebody in the comments, and I know some of you all, first of all, I don't know where you live, but I don't know what experience you guys even have with even buying a house, but I can guarantee you that mortgage is in the 40,000 at least. You got to understand, if I were to go out and seek a mortgage, if you were to go out and seek a mortgage, if we have good credit, or if you got good credit, I know I do, you can get the lowest rate that's being offered. When you are looking at homes that's $6 and $7, $8 million, you do not get a low interest rate because the bank is taking a risk. Now, when I say it's 40,000, it's probably way more than that. I'm just not knowing what type of interest rate they would get, but I know it's going to be higher because it is considered a jumbo loan. Now, if you all think this dusty can afford this mortgage, just log off. If she could afford it, she wouldn't be squatting in the home of a man that she don't even like. She don't like this man. She really, really believes down in her bird brain that she can take this house and have it as hers, because what her mammy didn't teach her is common sense. Her mammy taught her how to sell that bus. That's it. That's all she taught her. She doesn't have any common sense. This woman is not thinking that this house has a mortgage, and if first of all, the mortgage company has to receive their money first. Ain't nothing being transferred, because they are the owners of this home. Now they really lease it to you and let you live there until you pay them off. Now, for some of the people in the comments, I don't know how much to say it or how to break it down, but I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again. So in Georgia, let me just break it down for y'all. Let me try to break it down for the people in the back. So I know some of you all were saying, oh, if the house is in foreclosure, that means he wasn't paying it before he went to, before he went in custody. Listen, I don't know how to say this, but all states are different. Just because in your state, you got to be 4 or 5 months behind, that is not the law in Georgia. The law in Georgia states that the mortgage company, they don't even have to take you to court. I don't know what about that some of y'all don't understand, but you can just Google this and it'll give you the information. So I'm going to try again. Now, I'm not going to, if y'all in the comments not getting it, I'm just going to skip you. I'm not even replying, because if you don't get it, then you probably a miniature Porsha. Okay. So in Georgia, foreclosure is a non-judicial process where a lender can sell a property to recover debt without a court order. They don't need to take you to court as long as proper notice is given. So simply what this means, because some of y'all was saying, Kim and Croy, it took them forever to foreclose on their house. No, it didn't. So let me explore. Do I need to show y'all what the definition of a default notice? So a default notice is something that you have to give somebody when they are in default. If y'all have a car, have you ever fell behind in your car note? If you do, they're going to give you a default notice, and it says you have until this day to pay it. So let's say you are 3 months behind on your car payment, and they say you need to pay this by this date or we repossessing your car. Let's say you owe them $3,000 and you pay it, and they say you need to pay it by tomorrow. You pay the $3,000, right? So what can happen now? You cured the default. They are not going to come and get your car. But if you start not paying, they're going to send you another default notice. So some of y'all was saying Kim and Croy was in their house for years. No, if you go back and really follow the story with Kim and Croy, they were paying it. They were getting a default notice, and then they were pay it. And then they will consistently fall again and again and again. I don't think you guys understand that. So foreclosure is a process. So although it's a process, they still have to give you time to pay. So in this case, let me kind of explain this to you. Once your mortgage falls behind in the state of Georgia, they do not take you to court, but they gonna send you a notice. So Porsha, I'm sure she got them notices, honey. Them notices, she got them, because how's the mortgage being paid? Because what some of y'all was saying in the comments, and I never thought about it, is that when you go in ICE custody, y'all said that they freeze your assets. Now, I really have to look further into that. But when y'all said that, I was like, you know what? I never thought about that, because why would they take you into ICE custody and not freeze your assets? More so, though, somebody reached out to me and they said that they know Simon, and they said they know for a fact he's not paying the mortgage. Hello, it ain't being paid. And Porsha is big pressed, honey. She's so pressed. She's very pressed. The house is going in foreclosure if those payments are not made. So let's get back to the topic at hand. Foreclosure in Georgia is a non-judicial process, meaning they do not have to take you to court. However, they have to give you a notice. Now, some of y'all is like, well, the mortgage must have been behind before he went to jail. well, he is in jail, but before he went to ICE custody. So let me break it down, and I hope y'all can see this, because again, if y'all ask the same question again, I'm going to skip it because I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, so let's look in here. It says how long, or, you know, should I say how long? But it talks about the time as to when or how far your property need to be behind. In Georgia, it need to be behind. So it's not 4-5 months. You can be 30 days behind. They're going to send you a default notice. Hey, you got to pay this by this particular time. So I know, you know, some of y'all in other states, you say, no, they can't do that. Yes, they can. Now, I'm from another state, and from the state I'm from, I think it's 3 or 4 months, not in Georgia. So in Georgia, you need to be behind. What is behind? 30 days, because typically by 30 days, if you are behind, they can report it to the credit bureau. So 30 days. And in all honesty, it don't even say 30 days. It just says you have to be behind. So typically, if your mortgage is due on the 15th, hell, if they want to, you know, by the 30th, they can start the proceedings. But we know they probably won't do that. So I need y'all to understand, this is not the state, and wherever you live. In Georgia, all you need to be is behind on your mortgage. Now, let's talk about the facts. Now, considering that Simon is in ICE custody, and based on what y'all said, and I need to figure this out and find this out, maybe consult with a attorney. When you are taken into ICE custody, or is your assets frozen? Is the assets frozen? Because I don't know, some of y'all must work with ICE or something, because y'all was telling me, yeah, they actually freeze your assets. With that said, if you think that this dummy, Porsha, can pay the mortgage, why would you think she would be here if she could pay the mortgage? If she could pay this mortgage, why is she with him? Because we know that she never liked him. I mean, didn't Nene say that? Who hasn't said that? Porsha doesn't never like Simon. What she liked was the lifestyle that she was afforded with Simon. That is all. That is it. So if she could afford this lifestyle, she wouldn't be in a house of a man that she doesn't like. And she's nasty, eating all over the furniture, having a what is that thing called where you eating crabs? The girl is just nasty. Now, I know I'm getting off track, but I mean, it's a lot of things y'all don't seem to understand about Porsha. So since y'all don't understand, I know y'all don't understand, let's get into who she really is, because y'all don't understand that Porsha is a horrible person. She's very narcissistic, and she wants things to go her way. If you watched her at all, let's just bring this little part up. Do y'all remember on her show, Porsha, I think it was Porsha Family Matters or something, they said that she got that, what we saw, that fight. I was listening to this podcast where some of the people worked on the show during that time, and they said what we saw was nothing. They said that Porsha was throwing plates and glasses, and they said they even got their cars towed. The staff that worked on Bravo, they said Porsha never apologized to them, and they said it was a mess. It was a total mess. So let's get into what other people is saying about Porsha. Porsha the hoe, okay?
Dangerous best friend. Porsha is totally a narcissist. I've always suspected it from past seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but watching the new season last night, it totally confirmed my beliefs. She is 100% a narcissist, and this is why. Porsha is the dangerous pick-me girl. She's the dangerous best friend, and that's the best friend that will play in your face for many, many years and low-key be jealous and competing with you the whole time. And we know Porsha and Shemia are close friends. So after witnessing Shemia is sitting in wealth. Her husband is extremely wealthy. They live lavishly, pure luxury. That is what you call wealth. If y'all watched Housewives and you saw Shamia's house, she threw a birthday party at her house. Baby, her and her husband are living in a lap of luxury. Beautiful home. Then he surprises Shemia. We're talking about her husband. He surprises her and gives her was it a Rolls Royce worth $500,000? So now it makes sense. If her and Porsha have been friends for well over 10 years, Shemia, we haven't seen Shemia's life. Okay, Shemia has done a good job because she's been on other episodes in the past of Housewives. She has done a great job of protecting her man, her family, keeping her home out of the spotlight. But after seeing Shemia and how she lives and how much her husband adores her, it is very clear that Porsha wants what Shemia has. Porsha is envious and threatened by Shemia. She wants Shemia's lifestyle. She wants a husband to spoil her. She wants to be a kept wife. She wants everything that Shemia has. And every time Shemia does something, she's got to one up and do. She's competing. Shemia gets pregnant, she has to get pregnant. Shemia does this, she's got to do that. She's got to do. It is clear as day. Porsha is the jealous, envious friend that smiles in your face, but low key will fucking hate and resent you because she does not have your life. I don't know. Can y'all see what I see? And so many things. Watching the Housewives.
Okay, I just wanted to play a little snippet of that because y'all fail to realize who this broad really is. There's nothing nice about her. Absolutely, positively, nothing nice about her. She's jealous and she's envious. The home that she currently has that Simon bought because she don't have the money, honey. Housewives don't pay enough for you to have that type of home. The money just isn't there. Okay. So the home that she has, that she's squatting in right now, is the home that she wanted to try to do one up on Shemia, but it didn't work because Shemia wins each and every time. Now, I'm not putting them against each other, but it is what it is. And this is simply me just telling y'all just how low down and dirty this chick is, because some of you Porsha fans, y'all just, I don't understand what you're celebrating, a hoe. Now, we must not forget about this. Now, we saw this woman support this lady. When she dragged Kenya off the couch, this person was there, made sure she was able to come back to the show. And yet she goes to the production and tries to alienate someone off of a show when this person has spoken publicly about being blacklisted. Porsha is nothing.
And I love to do, and was really happy. A disappointing video, but nonetheless, here goes. So earlier this week, I was told by my management company that the Netflix scripted series called The Upshaws were interested in casting me for a part. In Upshaws, it's Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes. Directing this particular episode is Kim Fields. I was excited to do it. It's a comedy. I love comedy. I used to have a comedy show out on the road. Some of you guys know. So comedy is something that I love to do, and was really happy to do it. As the talks went on, we agreed upon whatever we agreed upon. I was to fly out to LA on Tuesday. They told me that Porsha Guobadia was also playing in this particular series. She would be side by side with me. Excited. I haven't seen Porsha. We always have a good laugh when we see each other. So I was just like, okay, so me and Porsha are going to kill this part. I get to LA on Tuesday. They tell me to go straight to, to the studios. I need to go into wardrobe. Once I got into wardrobe, I'd chosen to wear like this silver color. They showed me a picture of Porsha. They said Porsha's wearing something similar in color, and maybe I would choose something else because we were going to be, you know, side by side doing this scene. No problem. I gave them a whole different look. They told me we were going to be having rehearsal. At rehearsal, I didn't see Porsha. There was a stand-in. We broke for lunch. We came back. We were going to do a whole run-through. I still didn't see Porsha. I'm just waiting to see Porsha, right? I'm excited to see Porsha. I'm like, well, I want to, you know, wait till Porsha said, so me and her can chop it up. So Porsha never came. We wrapped for the evening. I went back to my hotel. When I got to my hotel, production called me and asked me if I had any issues with any housewives because they were going to be recasting the other position. And I was like, oh my God, no, like what? And they were going to recast the position that Porsha was playing. I was like, what? Why? And they said, do you have any issues with kimzolciak, Cynthia Bailey, marlohampton? And I was like, no, like I just saw Kim recently and we talked. I talked to Cynthia Bailey often. I talked to marlohampton often. No, like they ultimately cast Cynthia Bailey and she was flown out to LA on Wednesday. We did the part together. I was later told that Porsha did not show up to work and had said that she did not want to work with me, that we had issues from the past, and she did not want to work with me. Let me take that in for a second. Listen, I am more than disappointed.
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop it right there because the only reason why I showed y'all that video is just to show y'all how low down this girl is. Porsha is low down, dirty piece of gutter trash. That is just what she is. Like, we see Shemia now. Shemia is receiving her flowers. Everybody is loving Shemia. Porsha can't take it. Same situation with Nene. As Nene says in that video, that Porsha wanted to be the star. Porsha is only the star of opening what? Those legs. That's the only thing she's a star in doing. Now, back to what I was saying. Porsha is struggling and trying to find out ways of how she gonna pay for this mortgage. And that's it. She is trying to figure out how she's going to pay this mortgage. And that's pretty much it. Simon is in ICE custody. It's simple. And I didn't know this before. Somebody had to share this with me. By Simon being in ICE custody, how is the mortgage being paid? How's it being paid? Now you see Porsha hustling on YouTube with these weird ass videos that she's producing, which is weird because she's on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So y'all are supposed to be able to watch that and get her life. But yet she's sitting on furniture, eating fucking crab boils, lying to y'all about Kenya got pictures from another cast member, and Kenya done told y'all that she's a liar, and more lies and more lies and more lies, which is interesting because this is how you know that this girl don't operate off of a full deck. Just recap the show. Like, how can she give you more information that you wouldn't already watch on the show? Because technically, she cannot reveal that information. So the fact that she's on YouTube is a good thing. I mean, she should. Everybody should be on YouTube. But she's on YouTube because she's trying to get that mortgage money. Let's be clear. She's on YouTube, honey, trying to get the money to pay the mortgage because she is about to lose the house because Simon is not there. Now, I know some of y'all think that your little bitty $1,000, $2,000, even if it's $3,000 or $4,000 mortgage is the same. Baby, listen, when your mortgage is $40,000, $45,000, you have to understand if it was even a law where you can be 4 months behind, I'm sure they would go into court and try to make it go a little bit faster, because if you can't pay $40,000 to $45,000, multiply that by 4, you wouldn't be able to pay it. So if you think that this broad has the money to pay the mortgage, you are sadly mistaken. Porsha over here hustling on YouTube, lying to y'all to try to get y'all to watch them videos, honey, because she needs to get that money to pay the mortgage, because Simon is in ICE custody. And some of y'all said, oh, he got it on auto pay. I don't think so. I don't believe that. And thank you for being here. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. But we now, guys, have memberships, and I want you guys to join. Find a membership that suits you, and please go ahead and get yourself a membership. Now, memberships are great, and it actually helps to support the channel, and it also helps me to pick videos to see what you guys may want to see next. So make sure you go ahead and support, get yourself a membership. And also, I heard you guys in the comments about the merch. I'm working on that. Membership will also give you guys perks to that when it becomes available, and it also will give you guys behind the scenes access to new content. So make sure you guys go ahead and get yourself a membership.
She on this flip and got the scoop on top, spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Like Keisha, queen of the